Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Adafruit Show and Tell. I'm Liz. I'm going to be hosting this evening. If you would like to join the stream and show off your project, you can find a link to this StreamYard chat in the Discord chat at adafruit.it/Discord. First, though, we're going to kick things off with Adafruit folks and then go from there. And we'll start with Scott.
Hi,
Hey, how are you?
Liz. Pretty good. You just missed the boot up sound. So what's happening?
Oh,
These clicks
yeah.
are loading the Lars IO paint.
Okay.
Um, Sorry, I should have warned. I meant to warn people, and I loaded the file, and then it started going. So
Fair.
it's
Oh,
going. So this is a demo that doesn't have an optimization that I've been working on.
okay.
And let me switch my screen so you can see the output. Did that work?
Hmm.
Yes. So here's Lars IO paint.
Cool.
And I can. And you hear the? Did you hear the hitch?
Yes.
And then we'll do some drums too. So it hitched again. Okay, so what I've been working on is those hitches happen when the Python VM is collecting memory. So
Okay.
Python doesn't precisely know like what memory is in use and what is not in use.
Yeah.
What it does is it says like, okay, I need to figure out what's in use right now, and it just looks everywhere it possibly can,
Okay. Yeah.
pretty much. It says start here and then recurse. And so what I've done, and I should get it loading while I'm talking about this. What I've done is I've made it not look more places. So
Okay.
it'll look fewer places now. So when memory is allocated internally, we'll tell it like, hey, this could have pointers or this may not have pointers. And it drops our GC times. So with those hiccups that you were hearing, they're like 224 milliseconds or so.
Okay.
And with this optimization that's loading and starting up, for the Lars IO thing, I won't talk
That's
over it. So it still hitches a little bit, and I got to look at why that is. But the garbage collection times for the Lars IO paint went from over 200 milliseconds down to 25 or
that's
so.
really cool.
I'm not sure what these clicks are when it's doing these loading. I'm going to take a look at that. But once it's loaded, it seems to work better.
Wow.
I do really love this.
Right.
And then we'll repeat and we'll play it. There's maybe a little bit of a hitch there.
Fairly noticeable though. Like
Yeah, it's like much
if
less.
you weren't looking for it, I don't think you'd notice it.
Let's see if I can. Yeah, so there was just a GC there, and we didn't hear that one at all. It was 26 milliseconds. Anyway, so like dropping from over 200 down to 26 is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I just made a PR for it. If folks have had this trouble where you load a lot of stuff in, you're like in this case we're loading a bunch of audio samples into memory. We're loading a bunch of bitmaps into memory. What used to happen is that whenever a GC happened, it would scan all of that memory,
Yeah.
which it doesn't need to do because there's nothing there that it needs to collect. And so by doing that, we're actually like drastically reducing the amount of memory that we have to look at,
That's great.
and speeding it up.
That's
So
awesome.
go ahead.
I'm excited to try this because I've definitely run into it a bit in like some of the bigger graphics stuff
Yep.
I've done, and then
Yep.
also with doing some of the Pico camera stuff too. So I'm excited to try it out.
Yeah, when I was optimizing the like boot up animation, I just like made it so it didn't allocate anything at all, which is also a way to do it. Because it was using enumerate, and if you use enumerate, you're actually doing an allocation every loop.
Oh, okay.
That just throws it away. But when it throws it away, it has to still do that collection process. But yeah, so I'm super excited about this. I should also say that my last deep dive probably of the year will be next week. I'm not
Okay.
deep diving this week. Tim is. And then I have paternity leave, and I'm going to be part-time for a while I'm actually watching my youngest.
Gotcha. Yeah.
If folks want to ask questions about this, you can find me on Discord, but you can also join the look. I talked about it last week's deep dive as well, if people want to go back and watch it. Yeah, deep dive next week, Friday.
All right. Thanks so much. Definitely tune into that. And thank you, Scott, for working on that.
Thanks, Liz.
Have a good one. And now, speaking of Lars's cage mangler, we have JP. Oh,
That was such a bop he made.
that was a bop. Yeah.
It also makes me want to add a feature, which is save the song and load a song, because I keep taking pictures of songs and hoping to recreate them later because I got no way.
I mean, that's basically what I do with a pocket operator. So it's
right. It's like record it because it's gone as soon as those batteries die. Yay, Scott. So that was, I was facing some of these issues with the garbage collection noises on Lars IO Paint Music, and I was even seeing, just with nothing, no notes at all, I think playing, I was every 31 seconds on the dot, I was getting a clicking noise as it did some little bit of garbage collection. So that's exciting that he's taken a bunch of that away. Yay.
Yeah, it's great.
So the other thing I've been working on, I had shown this little arcade cabinet replica that I built. So this was a 3D model I made in Rhino and 3D printed it to replicate the computer space arcade game, which was made in fiberglass, stood about that high, pretty big, pretty normal cabinet size, with a 13-inch monitor, so not a huge monitor in it. Little black and white TV they used, actually, not a regular arcade monitor. And the idea is I just want to have like a little desktop replica that's playing a game. I don't think I want to play it because the controls would be super tiny and it's not actually a very good game, but it is historical and interesting. So I want to put a little OLED in here and just have it kind of loop a graphics demo version of the game. So if you show my downshooter here, I've got a little prototype of that running on a, what is this, 2.4-inch 128 by 64 OLED screen that we have. This is running in SPI mode right now, and you can't quite tell, but I've actually masked where the graphics are is going to be a 4:3 ratio like this, and a lot of it'll be hidden inside of here with some masking, which is actually also true to the original. There's some side stuff there to mask it out, so it should work pretty well. Sadly, a lot of display types don't come in a nice 4:3 ratio, so we'll have to take it. But this is my first attempt using CircuitPython, and I whipped this up using Claude AI, my favorite programming friend. I think the most interesting thing that happened in creating this earlier today was I had told the prompts in Claude that I was looking to do a triangular shaped spacecraft and a couple of UFOs, and it gave me exactly what I asked for in the triangle. It didn't look that accurate to the original game, which really has a sort of bulbous rocket shape, like Wallace and Gromit looking rocket ship as the main user. So I decided to just give it some ASCII art of it. So I did a bunch of spaces and periods and drew a little like 5x7 using periods and spaces, fed that into Claude, and it spat back a coordinate set in a list that it's able to use, or an array that it's able to use to create the ship. And then it's doing all those transforms and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. I may try it again using Arduino, because I think I'm going to run into some limitations of speed here, and I'd like it to move fairly fluidly. One of the interesting things too about the game, I'm going to reset here. You'll see these UFOs. There were actually 2 UFOs enemies in the game. They moved in lockstep with each other. So there wasn't, this was a TTL logic game. So it's sort of discrete chips. There wasn't a microcontroller in it, but one way or another, it was easier to generate this sort of single graphic and mirror it across a fixed distance, so that wherever one of them moves, the sort of shadow one moves along with it. So if you shoot either one, you'll score points. I think I'll put a little score indicator that was also in the original game over on the right. I think there was how many points you earned, how many points the enemies earned, and a time counter of some kind.
Very cool.
So that's what I'm working on there with my little computer space. It'll look much cuter inside of here.
It looks great, and I love your print too. It looks super good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's come out pretty well. It's interesting. The worst area is right here where I'm printing it in this orientation, and you can see, even though this is at maybe 0.1 millimeter Z-step resolution, you run into, I have a little bit of a curvature there I didn't intend, a little pocket or a bowl, and so you end up with this kind of stuff here. I don't know if an easy way to get it, and I don't want the problems to be on the top, which I think what would happen if I printed it vertically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it looks good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's so swoopy. It can't help. Help. I don't know a lot about the design of the cabinet, the original cabinet. The only info I found online was that it was a lump of clay on Nolan Bushnell's kitchen table. I don't know if he sculpted it or if someone else did.
It does look very clay-like. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was clay-like, and it was made in fiberglass the way a lot of hot tubs and boats and things of that era were made, using a buck of some kind and some fiberglass with a mold. So it's a nice one to try to model, I think.
Nice.
So that's the progress on computer space there. Excellent.
Well, thank you so much, JP. And you'll be doing your workshop tomorrow?
Yes, I will. And actually come on by, because I've got a special treat, which is I'm going to show circuit boards from the original arcade game. And there's a sort of a neat Easter egg on one of the boards. It's actually comprised of 3 boards, and the graphics board has a neat Easter egg that I'm going to show off. So come on by. That's the tease.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Liz.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Well, we have a short show and tell tonight, but we got some great stuff from Scott and JP. In about 15 minutes, you're going to have Ask Engineer right here with PT and Lamore. So take an opportunity to take a stretch, get a snack, and then come on back for Ask Engineer. And until next week, have a good one, folks.